I literally felt this just overwhelming sense of just peace, calmness. It was a calmness. And at first I was like, okay, am I making this up in my head? But then when my daughter went and she got very emotional and she cried, my oldest daughter, and she said the same exact thing. I said, wow, I'm not making this up.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel. We are House of Lave. I'm Mikvah.
And I'm Hava.
Thank you for joining us. We are excited to chit chat a little bit. We want to talk about finally, but we owe you. We finally want to get into our names, how we felt after the mikvah. I know it's a long time coming. We converted, like we got out of the mikvah November 5th, and here we are getting ready to go into February, right? So there's a lot that has been happening in between that time. So give us a little grace. You have. Nobody's been tripping, right? But I'm just saying, thank you for your patience. But we finally want to talk about it. We were actually doing we were doing a YouTube live a couple of days ago,
Yep.
and somebody asked like, "Hey, you guys were supposed to talk about like your names and
And
the
how was the
mikvah."
mikvah? Yeah.
Cool. So here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. You want to start off, or you want me to go?
Yeah. So, um, are we talking about how we named like everybody's names, right?
Let's start mikvah first. Like
Oh,
how do
mikvah.
we
Okay.
we want to let's go a little bit into depth of how we felt. What was that transformation like? Did we feel like a new person? Did we feel the same? And then we'll kind of transition like, okay, our names and who we transformed into. So let's start there.
Okay. So, yes, I guess I'll start that out. So, being a mother of six, it was a lot, even just that day of just preparing to get out of the house for the mikvah, in all honesty, right? But I feel like even within all of that, I was just making sure that there was lots of shalom bayit in the home, peace, right? I feel like things can always try to come in when, you're getting ready to do something big and transformational, with your life.
Yeah.
And so, just that whole like moment of just like driving there and getting there and talking about like, wow, this is really about to happen. Like Mikvah Day. We've been talking about Mikvah Day for 2 years,
Man.
over 2 years. And it was finally there, that moment. And then just pulling up to the mikvah because we live in Orange County. So it was a nice, good schlep, like an hour and a half to get there.
Yeah.
It was a Sunday, so it actually wasn't that bad or traffic or anything like that. So a little over an hour to get there. And pulling up, you're just like, oh, this is really about to happen.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. We're there, right? And then we have some of our friends show up. We have the Price family. Shout out to the Price family for wanting to be there, support us, coming out of the mikvah. But just to keep it short and sweet. So we're all there, all of our kids, obviously, all six of them have to, get dunked into the to mikvah as well too, because people ask us, they're like, "Did your kids have to do it?" Absolutely,
Yeah.
every single, even baby Yosef
Yep.
had to go into the mikvah. And so I took the girls, so all the girls obviously were together, and then the boys separated. So even little Yosef went with his Abba,
Yeah.
and so it was a lot in that of just like prepping, right, for that and the kids. And I'm trying to keep them calm because we actually had people ahead of us. This day, particularly, was a day for people who were converting. So they tried to like group it in because we learned that there's a lot that entails when it comes to the mikvah day, like what they have to do with the mikvah and how they have to like clean it out and after that. So they try to make it to where it is, multiple people, even though our family, I think, was enough for multiple. But I would say going into that mikvah, definitely felt this sense of just peace and calmness. After saying the bracha that you say when you dunk down into it and then coming up, I literally felt this just overwhelming sense of just peace, calmness. It was a calmness. And at first I was like, okay, am I making this up in my head? But then when my daughter went and she got very emotional and she cried, my oldest daughter, and she said the same exact thing. I said, wow, I'm not making this up. Like this, she's really feeling what I just, and I said the same thing. I was like, that's exactly what I felt. I wanted to see what you were going to say. So it was just this sense of just calmness and peace that just came over me and just such a relaxing. I felt very relaxed coming out of the mikveh.
Yeah, yeah, same. And it was just such anticipation
Yeah.
because this is what we've been working so hard for. 2.5 years in the process, and we talk about it. We live it every single day. We're living as a Jewish family, and this is what you're working toward. You have your test, and then you hear the Beit Din say, like, okay, we know, welcome to the family. We're all set. Let's keep moving forward, and then you get there, and it's just this life-changing moment. It's you and Hashem. And one of my prayers was, God, I'm only going to convert and do this once.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a second time, a third time, or this is it. And I'm saying that because I want to live in the moment. I wanted to just remember it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to cherish it. I didn't want to step out of that moment. I wanted to just be in it and just be fully embraced in Hashem's love. And it was just, ah, man. And so that was the mindset driving there, and just getting ready, preparing, and so we are. It's our turn. They knock on the men's restroom, bathroom area, and and me and my sons, we go out. We go out, and we just get right to it. We go in, and I had the absolute um pleasure of being able to hold my son Yosef. And I think I think who went first? I think I went first. I went first, and then Bezalel, my son, gave me Yosef, and I dunked him. And it was a I don't know. It was such a it was quick. It was a quick thing because he's a baby, but he had to go all the way under. So I had to hold him, and I had to. They was like, okay, you got to put him all the way under, take him out, and he's panicking. Um,
I'm so happy I didn't have to do that part for
I
him.
know, but it was beautiful.
I
It was
know.
beautiful. In my mind, as I see him in panic, I'm like, this holy water. This is just holy water. He's all good.
That's
Nothing.
exactly why it was necessary for you to do it.
There's nothing wrong with him. He's good. Uh, but I don't know. For me, I'm walking into the water, and and again that peace just kind of comes over me, and it happened quick, but I just felt it though. It happened quick, but it also was kind of like a slow motion moment for me too, though.
Mhm.
You go under, and then you come up, and then they hand you they handed me something that, like a little keeper, something to put on top of my head to say a bracha. And it was like, as I'm saying this bracha, and I'm like, oh, my first official bracha as a Jew,
Yeah.
and I'm like, like it's because it happened so fast. So I'm like, I'm trying to like be in the moment, but I'm also trying to say the bracha, and I'm trying to like thank God. I'm emotional. Like, I feel like I wasn't crying, but I feel like
Wanted
I
to.
wanted
Yeah.
to, but I had to kind of keep it moving because my son,
Yeah.
had to go into, and um,
So that's what I mean about like it was like I couldn't be almost fully in the moment because I had four other
yeah,
little
yeah,
or three. I had three little other ones that I had to separately each go in and take them with me. Like my 5-year-old, I got to let her go because she knows how to swim. So she let her go. She goes under, then grab her really quick, bring her up. Same thing with my 3-year-old. And then for me, the toughest one was my 1-year-old because she did the same thing, kind of like Yosef, like kind of panicked for a
yeah.
second, but it wasn't that bad. So it was a lot that I knew I was like, I couldn't really like soak it in that moment. But like I said, everything like after that,
After,
but even me going in myself though, that like I said, I felt this peace.
yeah,
But I think the peace really hit me like driving back home and, just really kind of sitting with it and just feeling like this just a sense of just lightness. Like
Yeah.
I you can't even explain it, but
Yeah, like it really hit me because we obviously got done, me and our boys,
right.
we got done like way before the girls did. And but we were sitting in the lobby in the waiting area, and that's when it hit me because
Hmm.
I had time to like sit
Yeah.
and just be quiet. And I'm like, it was an unbelievable feeling. And that's when the calm and a peace just came over me. And I'm like, wow, I'm a new person.
Mm.
Like, and I kept saying to myself, like, I'm a Jew.
True.
I'm a Jew. And I'm with my boy Yehuda, him and his family's there, and so he's like, he has his camera and he's kind of catching some of those first moments. And we also had a camera crew there as well. And Bezrat Hashem will be able to kind of share some of that footage as well. But just sitting there and people are asking me like, okay, how do you feel? And I'm like, new,
Hmm.
calm, peaceful, different,
Hmm.
and I'm hugging my son, right? It was a moment like me and my son Bezalel. And when we both came out, we just hugged each other so tight. Man, holding my son Yosef, looking at him, I'm like, man, your life is changed forever. That's what I was saying to my kids. And from this point, we start new branches on our family tree, you know?
And I just think about how special for him because he only had to be like 4 months of being a non-Jew
Yeah.
coming into this world only for 4 months and then
Yeah.
converting. So that's special, very special.
Yeah. So
But yes,
so the transformation is, it's just we feel like the transformation is just slowly happening. And then the girls finally come out of the mikveh,
yeah,
and it's like, and like, and I see my wife and like your natural instinct, like you want to run and you want to go hug her, but we can't, we couldn't.
that day,
So
not
after
till
the
night.
after the mikvah, we are, brand new, like brand new people, right? It's just like we're kind of meeting for the first time. And so we weren't allowed to touch each other. We weren't allowed to hold hands or none of those things. We had to literally separate until our wedding that night,
Hmm.
and so that was a whole different thing. So we'll talk about that too a little bit maybe. Let's talk about our names.